Hey there, welcome to C&T Collectibles. I am C. Hope you are doing well. And this is your weekly, mostly weekly, sports card chart blast where we'll take a look at the price action of our favorite collectibles. Price is truth. Doesn't matter a whole lot what we think. It's all about what other people think, right? As long as there's enough of them. So anyways, yeah, so we'll just look at the charts here. We've got a number of them, so we better just get to work. And we start off, as always, with Miggy Cabrera. So we don't always start with Miggy Cabrera, but you hit 500, you hit your 500 home run, you get to start this. So he thought that 500 would be, lock him up for the Hall of Fame and, eternally. No, you get to lead off the chart show that upwards of 50 people watch. So this is kind of a big deal, Miggy. So longer term trend is good here. This is the base in a PSA 10 in a kind of a wild trading range here. A little anticipation on 500, or maybe that was right at 500, but you're in the middle of the zone here. So not much to do with it at this time. If you get towards the top of the zone, then sell it. If you get towards the bottom, then you buy it. And if you leak below this, then you have a new zone here, and prices could go a little bit further south. But right now, you're kind of in the middle. What you have to kind of consider is right now, what happens. He's going to have not the greatest season ever. The big milestone is out of the way. He's got hit number 3,000 coming up. Probably next year. So I don't know. It just seems like it's mostly a holding pattern at this time. This is his Chrome traded. So the shiny version in PSA 9, and that continues to trend downwards. And so we had a number of buys in this area here. Said, oh, it looks like maybe people are getting ready for a little bit of a bust out, and we got that, but quickly rejected. So this is your risk reward setup for the time being, top of the range, and there's a number of people buying in this area here, but they're not able to do enough to push it back up. They continue to buy at lower prices, so the trend is down until it isn't. But it should be, you're not. What this kind of means is when you have this number of buying here, you probably won't see these huge price spikes or anything like that. You're not going to see these wild moves. So it could be a controlled descent, if anything. But yeah, right now, setting up as kind of top of your range, maybe you get some better prices if you are patient. All right, Mike Trout, here we go. There's the big dog. As Mike Trout goes, so goes the rest of the market. No one can be worth more than Mike Trout, and he is compressing and running out of space here. We were getting a good idea sooner rather than later which direction he wants to go, whether it be up or whether it be down. So momentum is relatively flat here. So whatever move it is, there's a lot of buying in this area here. So whatever move we do get should be relatively controlled. Probably nothing like that. So, but anyways, this would be bullish and this would be bearish. But I think if it gets down too much here, it won't stay there. I think there's enough people, there's enough interest in here that people will snap it up fairly quickly like they did in here. People are just kind of they're kind of ready. If you look at his PSA 9 holding in similarly, but there's a lot of transactions in this area as well where people they're okay with spending a little less money to get to get a mint example. They don't really need that 10 or anything like that. And so the longer term trend is down. Shorter term, that is an upward trend here. So we'll see if we can get more buying. People are interested in these cards, and so we just need a little bit more interest and get a few people chasing, and then we can be a little more confident in that uptrend here. Shohei Ohtani, this is the update. This is pitching uniform here, and sitting at the bottom of the longer term range here. So again, the trend is down slightly, but longer term it is up. So, bottom of the range is a decent risk reward spot. You've had purchases in this area in the past. Just be ready to have kind of a quick hook. If it leaks out of this range, it could be a quick move down, and that's not an insignificant dollar amount. Sitting at about $210 off from a high of 280. All right, this is the batting version, holding up a little bit better, relative outperformer here. So it looked like it was maybe breaking down when we looked at this a couple of weeks ago. So all right, this we'll have to watch this very, very closely here. But was kind of sitting at a critical juncture. So this is kind of your last chance. See if the Bulls can step in, and they did. They've pushed it up nicely here. So breaking out of over this area is a good sign here, and perhaps it will challenge all-time highs at $400 area in the near future as he is looking to wrap up that MVP award. The guy that is having an MVP season but is not going to get the hardware this year most likely is Vlad Jr. And so this is the no number PSA 10 on a sell signal here. So the longer term uptrend is broken. Went down to the bottom of the range, very quickly snapped up. So people are still finding this area to be a pretty good value. but it is testing the underside of this trend. So that's typically what you get when you break trend. You'll retest it real quick, and that'll be the end of that one. So this may be for selling for the time being, but the buying and selling is thinned out quite a bit here. So we'll see what the next purchase does. I mean, someone could easily come in and push it higher. It's going to be really easy to push these prices around. So hard to say one way or another. It is sitting in the middle of the range here, but your range is fairly well defined, and so there's nothing that you really need to do at this time. Again, if you do get someone bumping the price up to here, maybe take advantage of that and lighten the load a little if you have multiples. But down here, looks like that's where buying is going to step in, wherever that recent price is. All right, Vlad, this is the Heritage hanging around the highs. So you had a big spike up here, which it's, all these people think this is the price. One person thinks that's the price. Who wins that battle, right? So again, the trend is relatively sideways here. So it's up for the little bit longer period of time, but it's sitting in the middle of the range for now. And so, a lot of people, I think, are just kind of bored with this crap. So you want some excitement, you want some volatility. This is very much a trading market right now. So there's not a whole lot of things that you can just buy and just sit on. I mean, if you're a collector, this is the easiest, greatest market ever, right? No, but if you are looking at this to try and make money, it's frustrating, it's a grind, and it's no fun. And I understand that. So it does happen from time to time here as things try and figure out which direction they want to go. Juan Soto, PSA 10, bottom of the longer term range, and really it's just another consolidation. You've got your spike high that said, forget it, that doesn't last. Look for something back in here, and you're getting multiple chances in here. So people do like, again, there's a lot of buying in that 150 area, give or take a couple of bucks here. So anything below that probably gets snapped up really quickly as people say, hey, what a bargain on a great young player. So bottom or not, I don't think I do think that if it goes much lower than this, then it doesn't stay down there. I think there's just gonna be too much buying, and it'll push it right back up again, at least during the season. Off season, who knows? But for now, a card that's holding up really, really well relative to that is the Bowman's Best Refractor in a PSA 10. Bottom of the range, getting a little bit of lift off here. And it's right around its highs for the most part. 415 was the highs. Currently it's 267, so I guess it's not that close. You kind of had this spike high here, but this cluster of buying, it's very close to that one. It's holding up. And so if we look at kind of the relative performance between the best and the chrome and the just the base update, you can see that the Bowman's Best has outpaced them over the past period of time, going back to 2020, well, earlier in this year. So up quite a bit relative to the others. So it hasn't had a recent sale or anything like that. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. But I like those the Bowman Best Refractors. So the players that that I like Ozzie Albies and Rafi Devers, kind of those next tier guys. I'm getting those refractors. They're pretty cheap entertainment, and looks like they're holding up just fine in some of the big boys. So maybe we can get the same out of the other ones. I just like to look at them. So, all right, Fernando Tatis base, PSA 10, bottom of the range. So there you go. You're looking for a Tatis, your NL MVP. This is as good a spot as any as we've had in the last couple of months here. So if it leaks below this again, there could be some downside, but I would imagine that would be at least in the near term quick. And the pink refractor, pinks kind of lead the way on the way up. If you like a card on the way up, the pinks kind of lead the way, and on the way down, well, they kind of lead their way down as well. So breaking out of this consolidation, hitting an important area of support. So we'll see if it can hold that. If it can't, then yeah, you're coming back down to 300 bucks or something like that. Could be these are volatile moves here. You probably have volatile moves over in this area as well. This is a pretty quick move as well, so you could have a lot of symmetry in this area here. So we'll see how that plays out here. This is like I said, a good spot to buy, as long as you're ready to have a quick hook if it comes back down into this area here. So we'll see how that plays out, but this is a pretty decent level of support. See if it holds. Rafi Devers, tops chrome, bottom of the range. So likes that $80 area here. A little buy off of that one, getting a little purchase off of this one here. So still in this frustrating consolidation, but the longer term trend is up, and this is just a consolidation within it. So within if you're looking at it longer term, it's kind of at the bottom end of that uptrend here. In the near term, again, probably going to be a little bit frustrating, 80, 100 bucks or something like that. So for the time being, we'll see. Now, if he finishes top 5 MVP, look at his path, then he can start to shoot himself up into that next echelon of guys, players. If you want to put him up there with the the Soto, Acuna, Tatis, or whatever, because he's got a couple extra years and his wins above replacement look, similar-ish. They're not quite there. Then maybe he could be a $120, $130 player. So Alex Bregman, he's back off the disabled list, injured list, whatever, and he's sitting at the bottom of his longer-term range as well. So like this one a lot. Picked up one of his cards recently for some most recent mail day. Got a chrome autograph, and so. Yeah, if you're looking for a Bregman, this seems like as good a spot as any that we've, as good a chance as we've had since before the beginning of the season. So Risk Reward sets up favorably on that one. And Nolan Ryan, Jerry Kuzman, very wide, grinding, frustrating, boring range. So sitting near the bottom, could get a little bit lower price here. But again, this high level, it'd be tough. Only one person. Only a handful of people really thought that was the price here. So again, bottomish of the range. All right, some basketball. Michael Jordan, a lot of sideways action, a lot going on here. Getting kind of between that that 10,500, 8,000, 8 and 10,000 or something like that. So I think it's a little bit more than that, a little more than 10,000, 10,500 or something like that. But yeah, anyways, sideways action here. A lot of buying in this area, and then a couple of spikes. Starting to get a little bit choppy, a little bit volatile here as it's starting to thin out as people are just kind of waiting to see which direction it goes. I want a better price, and I better chase it. It's like, all right, and most people are just sitting back, so you guys figure it out, and I'll jump in later here. So LeBron James tops chrome. Can't quite get it going here, so I'd like to see it brushed over this downtrend line here. But this is an area where there's been buying. Here's some buying in here, and you're seeing it again. But again, it's getting choppy, kind of like the rest of the things here. It's just the enthusiasm is drying up just a little bit here. And Kobe. In an area where returning to the scene of the crime, basically. I mean, we can go back year and a half to the 2020 before the whole liftoff, and here you are again. So if you liked it in here, here's your chance to do it again here, and here's your downtrend line to really get a lot of confidence that this thing is going to move back up. But for now, here it is, scene of the crime, and it seems like there's a number of purchases in this area. People are liking that. So can they get more purchases? Can we get more people to buy than we can to sell? That's really going to be the key here. And Luka, all right, we've got a sideways consolidation. So the bottom sub 700s, and okay, that seems good enough here. Hoping that we could see $1,000 or whatever, at some point we probably do, but in the near term here, lots of buying in this area here, but just a lot of sideways action. So I mean, $700 to almost $900 isn't anything to sneeze at. But again, this market is more for trading than just buying and holding. If you are looking to make a buck or two, John Morant had his bottom around sub $200, and it hasn't done a ton since then. So bottom of the range, this could be worth a pop in the near term here. So all right, Karl Anthony Towns. Had its breakdown, looking for sub $200, got it, and nice lift off here, but just brought it up to its previous point of resistance. So we'll see how that plays out. Now you're at a prior support here in this area. Buying picked up really quickly. People stepped in really fast to push this thing back up. So I'll see if they're willing to do it yet again. Anthony Edwards, Goose. For Top Gun fans, right? Bottom of the range coming off just a bit here, but the overall trend does remain down. And Giannis. So we had hey, you're the MVP of the finals, and it's like that's for selling. So I think there are 8,000 videos on sell, and people did. Looking for an area back in here, got it, and now it's now it's bouncing up again. So here's your previous kind of support area here, and it's tagging that again and getting rejected. So market does have memory, but the trend is up, at least in the near term here. So coming back into this area, should see some buying kind of step back up in that particular card. Football, Tom Brady, trend is down, top of the range coming up just a little bit. Starting to look at kind of retracement options off of this potential bottom of 17.5 up to 20,000. So we got the 17.5 one, but really need to clear this if we want to start making our way back up to 20,000. But right now, risk reward sets up unfavorably, although there's enough buying up in this area here that I think, like a lot of things, it's just going to be a grind, and maybe it goes lower, but it's going to be a slow roll lower. Patrick Mahomes, 2017 Prism Silva, PSA 10, bottom of the range here. So see if we can get a little bit of lift off on that particular card. If you're the best player in the game, can't get it going. What does that say for everybody else? So it's a high price tag, so maybe people are just like, I'm not going to spend that kind of money on it. A little closer look at the PSA 10. And you can see that, while it's kind of at the bottom of a longer term range, perhaps it's in a downtrend. So which way do we go on this one here? So here you go, camera 1 and camera 2. Here I think we had, that's just had those two there. So anyways, yeah, so it certainly could be bottomish of the range here, but it's putting in a slightly lower low here. So this is your support zone, but it is a wide zone, down to $6,000 or something like that. So it's a couple grand lower. So again, people are just kind of waiting for those really bargain basement prices, and if that doesn't happen, then they're going to start to chase as they feel like they're missing out. So we haven't really seen that yet here. So all right, Baker Mayfield above $400. You can own him. Momentum is lower. Turning out, it's kind of on a confirmed sell signal, but it's very tight band, so I wouldn't expect a huge move here. So it looks like bottom of the range and hanging on to that $400 area. So if you like Baker, you can continue to hold Baker, and maybe even it's worth a bit of a purchase at this point here. C McC, bottom of the range, getting a little bit of a lift. Risk reward is favorable with decent upside. If he's able to stay healthy and put together a good year, then this will likely work out. Devontae Adams, the best at catching the ball and getting a bunch of yards after that. The bottom of the range getting a little bit of a lift. And you can see Derrick Henry in comparison between his PSA 10 and his PSA 9. Here's his 10, here's his 9. The 9 is outpacing the 10 by a decent amount here. So 13% down for the 10, 13% up for the 9. So the 9s are just fine. Don't ignore those. All right, a little hockey, Mario Lemieux, and very important support here. We've seen this was resistance, now it is support. If it can't hold this, then there's a decent ways down on this one. So buy, but have a quick trigger if that's what you're interested in doing. Eric Lindros, top of the range, coming back down to the bottom of the range. Future superstar. So yeah, bottom of the range is it's like a $50 card because he was good, but superstar, he was hurt too much. So oh well, what do you do here? So Connor McDavid continues to grind lower. Longer term trend, uptrend is broken. So now you're in a downtrend, and you're at the top of the range on this one here. So see how that goes up. Again, this is good. This is bad. So all right, and Quinn Hughes wrap up some hockey into an area of support where we've seen buying in the past here. So see if we can't get a repeat of all these people coming in saying what a great deal, and there's a lot of people buying, more people buying in here than there were this last time here. So see if we can't get a little lift off bottom of the range here. So now it's kind of in the middle, but see if we can get a bit of a bump here, and we'll wind it up with Charmander. So Charizard and a Salamander hooked up, and this is what you get. So it's trending down. It's at the bottom of the range, but this is it's just kind of tagging the bottom of that for a long time. It's not like it goes from the bottom, just shoots right up to the top. Just kind of makes it up to that midpoint area, then collapses again here. So hey, maybe the 1, 2, 3, 4, 80th time's a charm here, so maybe you can get a little lift to the top of the range. So I don't know, whatever, do your thing on that one. Risk reward sets up favorably, but it is a downtrend. So yeah, frustrating market overall. I totally get it. It's you got to be active. You got to really find those smaller names that are moving more than the bigger stuff here, and it's probably how it's going to be for a little while at least, but we'll do our best to get you through it. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of the weekend. Bye.